What's good, people? This is T Hoodie in Japan, back here for another video, giving you another video. Let's cut to the chase. So, I talked about food overall, and this is gonna be something a little bit more about me, and it's gonna be about me, but we're gonna be talking about certain food. And what I mean by that, we're going to be talking about food that I love in Japan, and food that I hate in Japan. And maybe hate is a strong word. Some of these foods I might hate. Yeah. So, let's get started. We're going to start with food that I love. And the first thing that comes up is sushi. Now, food. When I say sushi, that's going to be a broad term, and because there's like a few types of sushis. Like there's a sushi with the whatever fish or whatever's on top, and then on top of the rice, and then there's the rice and maybe whether it be meat or cheese or whatever, and it's wrapped in a seaweed roll, and we call that nori. But I'm gonna kind of add them all in together because it doesn't really matter to me how it's made, as long as it's the right sushi. And what I mean by that is because there's many types of fish or whatever they want to put on top of the rice or wrap in the nori to make the sushi. And some of the stuff I really love, and then the other ones I really don't care about, or I just wouldn't even try. So since we're talking about the stuff I love, let's talk about the sushis I love. One is going to be the salmon. I absolutely love salmon sushi. The other one is going to be the shrimp. And I kind of prefer the more fatter, flat ones than the little too slim ones. I know it doesn't make any sense, but like if you went to like a sushi restaurant, you'll know what I'm talking about. And then there's gonna be the maguro. Maguro is basically like tuna, but it's not basically refined like you see tuna in a can. It's basically red, and it's basically a red piece of fish that's slapped on the rice. And those are my three best ones. Those are the ones I would definitely recommend. I believe they give the most flavor, in my opinion. So, especially when you put the soy sauce and wasabi. And let's note this. I love soy sauce and wasabi. Even back in America, the U.S., I love soy sauce and wasabi. As a matter of fact, back in the States, when I go to a Chinese restaurant, while everybody in New York that I know was putting in duck sauce, I was the only weird one putting in soy sauce because I just prefer soy sauce. So, like I said, with your sushi, I recommend those three most definitely. Soy sauce and some wasabi, if you can handle it. I know I can handle wasabi. Some people might not be able to handle wasabi. Your first time, treat it with caution. The next thing is also a sushi, but this is something that my wife makes for me, and this is called temaki sushi. And basically, temaki just means like hand rolled or hand wrapped, and basically how it's served to me is that basically you prepare the rice. You gonna put some vinegar in it to give the rice a little bit of taste. You prepare the sheets of seaweed, like I said, what we call nori, and I guess you could either get your salmon or your sashimi, which is another type of fish, or your maguro, and cut it up, and you have it all separate, and all separate, served on the table. And basically, what you do yourself is that you take a sheet of seaweed, uh, grab some rice, spread it on the seaweed, uh, put whatever fish or salmon, shrimp, whatever you want to put on it. Usually, I like to put also cucumbers on it to give it a little bit of a more crunchy taste while I'm eating it. Wrap it up. Of course, put your soy sauce and wasabi in it if you can handle it, and eat it up. I absolutely love it. I probably eat that like almost every week, once or twice. Not twice a week, like once a week. Sometimes maybe twice. Once every 2 weeks, but I believe it's once every week that I usually have that. Um, Next one, ramen, the almost famous ramen. You can never go wrong with ramen. What are my recommendations? Well, I'm gonna say soyu because, like I said, I like soy sauce. But I've always been a fan of tonkotsu ramen, and the reason why I was a fan of tonkotsu ramen, and this is why I said, I might forget something in my previous videos of food overall, but I could set it in another video. So back in the States, I had this ramen restaurant that I went to. Whenever I had extra money. Man, in my opinion, that restaurant, it's called Jin's, by the way. That restaurant, if you ever in New York or you live in New York and you're looking for a good restaurant, I would definitely recommend Jin's. I believe there's two of them. One is definitely on 125th Street and Broadway in Harlem. But in my opinion, Jin was better than most Japanese restaurants I've been to. Which is not an insult because, like, I believe Jin is ran by a Japanese person anyway. He's a Japanese man, is the owner. So, no, it's still in the Japanese blood. So it's okay to say that's the best Japanese place, in my opinion. But because what I liked about Jin was that it had more variety of ramens and stuff, more than I still ever seen in Japan. And I haven't been to every single ramen place in Japan, but I have been to a lot, and most of them are very typical, where it just give you the shio, which is salt, or the soyu, which is soy sauce, or the tonkotsu, which is a certain broth, meat broth. Ramen, they all usually just give that basic ramen, and Jin back in the States just had these varieties. My most favorite was the tonkotsu, spicy tonkotsu ramen. Absolutely loved it. Something about the meat, the chatsu meat, it was just so well done, and I haven't seen many ramen spots that do it just as good as Jin did back in the States. Especially when, and I think, like, probably the more like commercial Japanese ramen spots are in Japan, like the worse they are compared to Jin. I think there was like one like family little small place where I had this ramen and it was just amazing. Back when I was visiting Japan, I just went there in the morning time and I saw it and I ate it and I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. Tried to find it again and for some reason I never saw it again. I'm kind of convinced now that like right after it probably like shut down or something like that. So, but yeah, shout out to Jin. They doing amazing. If you live in New York or visit in New York City, I would definitely recommend you go in there. But yeah, off that tangent, I definitely enjoy tonkotsu and basically soy sauce ramen. Of course, even in Japan. So check it out. Here's another thing that I like, and I haven't seen it in any stores. This is something my wife make, and it's basically called namaharumaki, and basically it's a whole bunch of vegetables, cucumbers, carrots, and maybe lettuce, and maybe some other stuff I can't think of right now. Wrapped in this clear wrap, and you just dip it in some chili sauce and you just enjoy it. It's very simple. It's nothing crazy. Another thing I like, Japanese rice. I said in my last video how I've grown to appreciate the Japanese rice even by itself, because it gives a good taste, a pretty good taste for white rice, and it's definitely fulfilling, easy to eat, to get full from. So I just want to add that if I was back in the States, I would probably, if I could find some, I would probably eat some white rice if I'm not eating no yellow or fried rice, so on and so forth. Another thing I enjoy is cold soba. I believe it's cold soba. I believe the pasta is soba and not no ramen or any other type of noodle. I believe it's soba. And it's just as it is. It's soba, it's cold, and what you typically do is you have a bowl of I forgot what the sauce is called. It's not soy sauce, but it looks similar to it, but it's not at all, and I forgot the name of it. But anyway, you put some wasabi in it, mix it up, and then usually the cold soba is on a plate or something, so get your chopsticks, take it out, you dip it in the bowl with your wasabi in it, and then you eat it. Very enjoyable. I recommend you try it out. Some basic things, we call it gyudon, and that's basically a beef and rice bowl, mostly rice, and then there's like a little bit of beef in it. Not a little bit, it's enough, I guess, for Japan, and that's enjoyable to eat. You get used to it, and it's pretty tasty, especially if you get it from specific people. And like I said, it's also very fulfilling. Another one that most people know is onigiri, which is like a rice ball, and basically it's a rice ball, and usually there's something in it. I don't like all rice balls. It's kind of like the sushi, like it depends what's in it. One of my favorite was the gyu meshi, which is basically beef and soy sauce in the rice ball. They got chicken flavor. I love the ones. I usually always love the ones with the soy sauce in it. So yeah, it depends on the onigiri what's in it, but and I want to kind of say like what I might not like in it, but I'm gonna save that for what I hate, the things I hate in Japan, which is fine because we're segueing into the things that I hate in Japan as far as food is concerned. And we're gonna get the most number one obvious one out the way. People have probably heard of this before, and that's natto. There's absolutely nothing I like about natto. The way it looks, the texture, the way it smells, and of course the way it tastes. I cannot handle natto at all. My wife loves natto. I think my kids can tolerate natto, but they haven't had it anywhere else. So I don't know how they feel about it now, but I cannot do natto. It is very hard for me to eat. And I know that's for many people as well. And though some people do like it, but I can't understand why. So if you don't know what natto is by some reason, it's basically fermented beans. It's brown beans, and it's very sticky, and like I said, as it's fermented, you have to stir it up, and the smell is extremely strong. And I've heard soy sauce makes it better, but even soy sauce doesn't help it for me. But like I said, if you're a person who want to experiment, give it a try. I can't do it. Another thing I don't like, and this basically goes into like the types of sushis and also sometimes the onigiris, is fish eggs. I can't do fish eggs. I don't like any fish. I don't want fish eggs in anything that I'm eating. And I'm sure it doesn't taste bad, but just the look and the texture that bothers me. And the fish eggs doesn't have enough taste. It wouldn't the flavor, whatever flavor it has, I'm pretty sure it won't compensate for how I feel about how it looks and the texture of it all. Because like I said, at the end of the day, I'm a picky eater. I don't know if I said this earlier, but I'm a very picky eater. So yeah. Next one is umeboshi. Umeboshi is, my wife calls it, it's a type of pickle. It don't look like any pickle that I've had. I guess it's considered a pickle because it is kind of tangy, but I don't like it because it's gray and shriveled up, and I don't know, it looks very weird to me. And then, like I said, texture, me being a picky eater, like to me it looked like an old man shriveled balls, and I just can't do it. I just couldn't do it. Taste admittedly isn't that bad, but like I said, as a picky eater, I can't get into it. Here's one, and I'm not sure how other people feel about this. And if I ever, and if I could, I would like viewers to comment and tell me how they feel about this. I don't like Japanese mayonnaise. I don't like Japanese mayo at all. Something about the taste. Is it more sweeter? Maybe that's what it is. Also a little bit also about the texture. I just don't like the taste of Japanese mayonnaise. It's not the same as American mayonnaise. I think it's a more sweeter taste, and I'm just not used to that. Or maybe the taste is different. I can't put my finger on it, and it's not that I don't eat it at all. But it's like when I'm having a tuna sandwich or something, because there's gonna be mayo in it. There's always Japanese mayo, and as I tasted it, I'm just always reminded of the mayo, because it makes the whole tuna sandwich or whatever I'm eating to be a sandwich or anything so much more different. And the mayo just stands out too much over the rest of the sandwich, in my opinion, and I just don't like it at all. So moving on, and this is the last thing I'm gonna say. And this is basically the last thing I hate is a lot of the things that Japanese, just for whatever reason, like to put raw eggs in. Apparently, Japanese like to put raw eggs in everything. Just crack an egg open and just spill it on their gyudon or whatever they're eating. Maybe their hamburgers too, whatever they're eating, they'll just do it. From what I'm told, at least what my wife tells me, is that Japanese eggs is a lot more. Japanese raw eggs are a lot more fresh and safe to eat compared to American raw eggs. And I wouldn't really know because I've never been a raw egg either. I don't like my eggs like I like my eggs fully cooked. I don't like to see any yolk. And I know that's like a divisive thing because I know there's plenty of people in the States and people around the world who don't mind their eggs showing some yolk and some wet oat yolk and liquid oat yolk and so on and so forth. But that's not something I like. For those who do like that, maybe you should give it a try. Like I said, Japan definitely likes to put raw egg yolk and just spill it on their food. That's what they do. For people who don't mind that, some liquid oat yolk in their taste buds and their texture buds, whatever the case may be, that might be something for you. But it's not for me. All right. So, oh man, I thought that I was gonna get through this a lot more quicker, and I wasn't. Oh well, it is what it is. But we are finished, and this is basically the things I hate and love in Japan when it comes to food. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope it was a little bit insightful, even though this was talking about a little bit more about me. But either way, like I said, I hope you enjoyed it. If you do, like and subscribe. If you don't, I'm pretty sure you know what I'm about to say right now. It is what it is. We'll try again next time. Okay, take it easy, everybody. Peace out.